Hello students, welcome to Vijetha IS Academy. In this session, we are going to deal with this topic, that is Indian thinkers and philosophers. This is the beginning of next chapter. In UPSC, so far we have done these units. First unit we have done ethics and human interface we have done, attitude also, then aptitude also, then emotional intelligence also, then next unit we are going to deal with, that means 4 are done. Now 5th one we are starting, contribution of thinkers and philosophers from India as well as from the world. That is the unit. In this session we are going to deal with 3 important philosophers from Indian context. We are going to deal with one personality from the political administration, or a person who is called an important individual who is very much influential in the statecraft administration. One personality we are going to deal, what are his philosophical ideas and how they are useful for the civil services. Second one, with respect to religion and philosophical point of view, and also when it comes to the tolerance approach towards so many other religions, also a philosopher, Swami Vivekananda, we will deal. Another person we will deal with our Indian side is Gandhiji in this particular session. So first one, Chanakya. Chanakya is a very important personality in the Indian history. He is known as one of the important strategist, one of the initial strategists in running the administration and the state. To know in which circumstances he was giving this kind of ideology, let us briefly look the history, that in which time period he was there and what was the nature of the society at that point of time and why he was giving those kind of ideals. Then we will understand, are these ideas are exactly can we replicate, or we can use the ideas with modifications according to the 21st century standards. So first let us try to understand in which context he was giving these kind of philosophies. In our history, since ancient times, so many people, so many sages, thinkers have given different ideas. When it comes to long ago, like 1500 BC to 1000 BC, long ago, that means 1000 years before Jesus. Now we are 2000 years after Jesus. That means 3000 years ago, 3500 years ago, first time a Rig Veda or first Veda developed during this time period. That is called Rig Veda. Between 1000 BC to 600 BC, that means from 3000 years ago to 2500 years ago, that time period, other Vedas emerged. And these are the knowledge books. Some people, as the knowledge of this segment started growing more and more in society, some people tried to simplify the simple Vedic thought, what essentially Vedas are all about. During this time period, many rituals and sacrifices also developed in the society. Some of the sacrifices and rituals were very violent in nature also. Animal sacrifices, for example. Unnecessary rituals were going on. In that context, some people started questioning what is the necessity of these rituals, when the relationship between person, human being and the God, directly we can establish the connection. From there, the philosophical thoughts, these philosophical thoughts best explained in books called Upanishads. So this was also called Upanishadic thought. So when it comes to India, Indian history even goes back to before 1500 BC also. India was well advanced. If we go back to 2500 BC, there were cities called Indus Valley cities. In Indus River, there were very big cities like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, cities were there. But we don't know their philosophy because writing, still we don't know. They have written that writing was left, but even today also we are not able to really understand. That script was not yet deciphered. That's why we don't know their philosophy. But from 1500 BC onwards, whatever people were speaking, that language is Sanskrit, and fortunately this language survived even today also. That's why we got the opportunity. Today also Sanskrit people are able to read, and they were able to understand Rigveda also. So over a period of time, gradually the ideas of Sanskrit ideas gradually came along with the time period, and today also we know what these people were saying about. And same is the case with this Upanishadic thought also, that is how preserved. Something, the knowledge which was there 2500 years ago, that knowledge came down to the next generations because Sanskrit was not completely lost. That people after the generations after generation keep on revisiting this thought. That is how we got. This is what Upanishadic thought in 600 BC. In 500 BC to 400 BC, this is called Vedic thought or Brahmanical tradition. Some people questioned some of these rituals and they created their own ideas called Buddhism. Buddha and Mahavira, they contributed for new kind of philosophical thought, that is Buddhism thought and Jainism. Charvaka philosophy, Jainism philosophy, Buddhism philosophy, different kind of philosophies emerged over a period of time. So Upanishadic thought, Buddhism thought, Jainism thought and Charvaka thought. Now combinedly Upanishadic philosophy, Buddhist philosophy, Jainism philosophy and so on. So India became land of so many philosophies. If we understand geographically in which geographic region these kind of philosophies emerge, they might have emerged in certain location. It's not that India means everywhere all of a sudden all ideas emerged. It's not possible. When it comes to Rigveda, this is the location of Rigveda. On Sapta Sindhva river, Sindhu river, on the river and Sindhu and its tributaries, these Rigveda developed. And in this location, later Vedic. And this is the location Upanishads also emerged. Some ideas like as the society increases, even today also, some practices, old practices, many people will not truly want to exactly replicate those practices because we feel according to 21st century these kind of ideas are not conducive for the improvement of the society. They are backward looking. For example, sati was there. Sati practice was followed in up to 1800. Sati practice was there, but today nobody accept this as a norm of the society. But people, when they started sati practice, there was a kind of philosophy behind that kind of activity also. People were believing that philosophy earlier, but we are not following that kind of philosophy today. As the society changes, people will question some of the old practices and they give new ideas, new philosophies. Same is the case here. Whatever practices that were going on between 1000 BC to 600 BC, like sacrifices, some people did not like it. They gave in the form of Upanishads. Today we are calling them as Upanishadic thought. Some individuals like Buddha and Mahavira, they in the present day Bihar region, Buddhism, Jainism, Charvaka, different kind of ideologies also emerged, how to live And this is how the morality and ethical conduct, moral conduct is emerging gradually in the society like this. Initially all human beings are animals only. As the society is becoming more and more complex, people needed some kind of guidelines how to live. Otherwise wealth is created. When wealth is there, some people get lot of wealth, some people will not have lot of wealth, poor people. Now some people recourse to stealing, robbery, then other social evils like lies, and some people even are ready to commit violence, killing also. Now when this kind of activities are going on in the society, some enlightened individuals will try to give that. Enlightened individuals will try to give some kind of direction that this kind of approach towards our life will not be good for the society as a whole. We should live according to certain principles so that you will give opportunity to each and every individual to live peacefully. Otherwise people will not live peacefully. People will be always in conflict with each other. People do not have sufficient space and mind to grow beyond the basic elements of the life. If everyday conflicts are going on, if everyday fighting is going on, people cannot think beyond that conflict. They will always indulge in the fightings. And now the human brain in this nature, the most beautiful part about this nature's creation is this human brain. If we unnecessarily use this human brain for this kind of petty issues, then we cannot really think beyond certain level. Society will not progress. So that's why as and when society is degrading, some people will come and try to give new idea, and people will start following that idea, and society will keep moving forward. So this is how at different stages India is having long history. More than, if we take Rigveda itself, that is 3500 years of history, and we have history even before that also. At least if I consider 3500, 4000 years of history, now you can imagine how many people, how many thinkers might have come, how many enlightened individuals might have come over a period of time. Different individuals try to contribute, they gave different ideas. By 600 BC, Buddhism, Jainism, Charvaka and other ideas also emerged. Politically, when it comes to today, whatever we are seeing, today it is the land. But at that time, there is no any kind of pan-India empire or all-India level administration in 600 BC. In 600 BC, there were different kingdoms. There were so many kingdoms divided into multiple kingdoms and so many forest areas, tribes. And now these kingdoms are going to be merged over a period of time. That happened in another next 300 years. Now if we go to that point, (600 BC, 500 BC and so on), by 321 BC, there was creation of first empire, pan-India empire. That means for the first time almost entire Indian subcontinent came under single rule. Now when it comes to single rule, now this is how it looks. Almost this kind of empire was there. Now these many kingdoms were not there. These many kings were not there. There is only one king. By Ashoka time period, this is what. And when it comes to Chandragupta Maurya, he was the one who laid the foundation for this empire, and his name is in 321 Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya, he belongs to Mauryan dynasty. He was the ruler who laid foundation for this dynasty called Mauryan dynasty in 321. He was the one having, it's not that easy to create such a pan-India empire without having strong advisors and philosophers beside his side. That's why during Chandragupta Maurya time period, he was having his mentor called Chanakya. Now during Chanakya time period, at least this kind of empire was, this is what Chandragupta Maurya and Chanakya, they tried. They were trying to rule this much empire. Now when they were trying to rule this much empire, now you imagine how much diversity will be there. This is the country. Now this country will have some other neighbors like this. There will be neighbors. There will be neighbors. So these will be neighbors. And these neighbors wanted to expand. The neighbors wanted to expand, like so many kingdoms were there. One king wanted to become as big as possible. That's why they used to attack the neighboring kingdom. Now this is where exactly like today, India's neighbors are Pakistan this side, China that side, Sri Lanka this side, Bangladesh like that. Neighbors. At that point of time, when Chandragupta Maurya was there, Kautilya was his prime minister like that. He was a political mentor, chief advisor. He was the main person who is going to advise Chandragupta Maurya how to run this state. And when this state is there, the characteristics of this kingdom are exactly like even today also, almost the same thing. And what are these characteristics? Now let me draw this once again. This is present day. At least during his time period, this much, even possibility is there up to this side also, because Chandragupta Maurya is going to come this side. So Pataliputra was the capital. It was the capital. Now if this is the kingdom, now you see here, religion, Hinduism is there. We are in 300 BC. By 500 BC, Buddhism is also there. Jainism is also there. And here, farmers, artisans, traders. Next, when it comes to Varna system, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. This was the society at that time. We are in 300 BC. This is the circumstance in which Chanakya has given his philosophy. That's why we are trying to understand. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Society is divided into 4 Varnas. They are called 4 Varnas. Religion wise, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Charvaka, Ajivaka, so many other philosophies are there. So many philosophies. And the people are continuously thinking like their philosophy is great, their philosophy is great, competition among them. Now so many tribes are there. India is having a diverse country. Vindhyas, Aravalis, then Chota Nagpur Plateau, many hill areas are there. Many tribes used to live in the tribal region or the hilly region. In the plain, this kind of philosophy is already emerging. Then men are there, women are there, and even Shudras. Later, this term also came Chandalas, and slaves. These kind of people are there. Now these are the sections of the people, they have to pay the tax to the state. Otherwise, how state will run? State should have strong army, then only it can control this much territory. Otherwise, here the neighbors were there. Neighbors were at this point of time Greeks. Alexander came just during this time period only. Alexander the Great, he conquered up to here. After Alexander, other person came and he was ruling this side, and they were trying to enter into this. Now Chandragupta Maurya had to fight with the neighbors to protect his kingdom. So this is the circumstances, this is the condition in which Chanakya was there. Now Chanakya is going to give, when these many threats are there, these are the external threat. Internal threats will be, earlier so many kingdoms were there, now those kingdoms once again wanted to become independent, and here some people wanted to become independent. So external threats, internal threats, diverse population, diverse religions, diverse caste. Now in addition to that, ruler himself will have the opposition, opponents. Conspiracies used to take against the ruler, because if you kill the ruler, you can become the next ruler. Like today, if you defeat the existing party, your party will become the next powerful party. A person from your party will become the next chief minister, next prime minister. The political struggle, power game also goes on. Now ruler have to understand this aspect also. Rulers will have opposition, conspiracies used to take place. Kingdom will have certain enemies, external enemies and internal enemies. Country is so much diverse, people have to, the ruler had to understand the necessity of the people. People welfare must be taken care, otherwise if people are not rich, they cannot pay the taxes. If they don't pay the taxes, kingdom will not be prosperous. If kingdom is not strong enough, then they cannot manage the external threats as well as internal threats. Now under these circumstances, Chanakya is going to advise the king that a ruler should behave like this. Bureaucracy should function like this. State machinery must be like this. Then only you can manage this state safely, security wise. Otherwise, country or kingdom will disintegrate into multiple times. Ruler himself will be killed by opposition people, and there will be chaos, there will be law and order trouble. Meanwhile, external threat will come and other people will capture your territory. That's why Chanakya is going to say to Raja that, king, you have to possess these characteristics and you should have bureaucracy along these lines. This is going to be one of the foundational philosophy for running the administration in the country. Even today also, when administration, every civil servant who is entering into the civil service, they understand Chanakya's administrative philosophy. And from there onwards, regularly people will be keep coming and giving the, and as this diversity, now today we are having this much land. Now the same characteristics, whether it is 300 BC, whether it is 2024, same kind of some more diversity, more population, but that fundamental character of the state and the diversity of the people is almost same. So many religions, so many castes, so many jatis, and so many regions, so many languages. Already when Chanakya has given this philosophy, also similar kind of style, and India became more diverse, more number of religions, more number of ideas, and that's why whatever he said applies even for today also. We are trying to understand his philosophy in this way. So he is saying that if we want to maintain very strong state, a state should be very strong enough, that a state should possess treasury. Treasury must be very strong, and security must be there. You have to maintain the law and order. Then if you want to maintain strong treasury, you have to have strong taxation system. And to maintain strong taxation system, who are going to collect the tax? Tax collectors, bureaucracy must be very strong. And who will maintain law and order? Bureaucracy. And who maintains security of the state? Army, military. And what are the resources for the? You need very strong taxation system. But what are the resources? Agriculture is the resource. And if you don't give respect to agriculture, if you don't support the farmers, how then agriculture will improve? He will talk about strong agriculture, strong trading activities, strong wealth generation, so that if people are rich, they can make the country also rich. If country is rich, automatically law and order, security, everything will be strong. And for that, the head of the person of this state is king, and from king must possess very good qualities, very powerful qualities, very honest, ethical qualities. Then only king will be able to maintain this entire enormous bureaucracy. Centralized administration. Mauryan administration is known for centralized. That means everything decisions taken from the Pataliputra. That kind of that kind of administration is visible during Chanakya time period, during Mauryan time period. And the fundamental philosophy behind Mauryan administration is Chanakya. That's why this is the circumstance. Now whatever we are going to see, the qualities or the philosophies he is going to give, he is going to talk about these elements only. Then you can see this. Key principles of Chanakya: ethical leadership and governance. Ethical leadership. Leaders must be ethical. King must be honest. Advisors must be honest. Ministers must be honest. Bureaucracy must be honest. Then only a state will be honest and the state will have very powerful administration. Strong emphasis on the ethical conduct of the ruler or any leader. Welfare of the people is the paramount, and a leader's action should always be guided by dharma, righteousness. So he says, whatever king take the decision, that is always for the welfare of the people. Today, Indian constitution also says the same thing. Any decision must be in consonance with the constitution. Any decision by the parliament, by the judiciary, by the executive, by the president, every decision must be in accordance with the constitutional principles. Constitution is the now this code of conduct for present day circumstance. That is dharma. Constitution is the dharma. That's why welfare of the people. Constitution always think about welfare of the people only. Therefore, in 300 BC, 2300 years ago itself, Chanakya is also talking about this only. Whatever we are talking today, 2000 years ago also, he is telling that. Welfare of the people. Duty and public service. According to Chanakya, civil servants have the duty to serve public interest, protect the vulnerable, and promote the well-being of the citizen. Even today also we expect that only. Today, Indian public expect bureaucracy perform in favor of the public. They should keep public welfare in the mind, not personal interest in the mind, but public interest in the mind. There should not be any kind of duty dereliction, or they are supposed to perform the duty on time. Suppose a road should be performed, road should be laid, that road construction should be done on time. If a person goes to collect the pension, the officers must be there in the office on time. Duty must be done. If somebody file RTI application must get the response on time. Duty and public service. Importance of wisdom and knowledge. Rulers as well as the bureaucracy should possess the knowledge. That means simply update yourself. If you do not update to the circumstances and you do not know the pulse of the people, and you cannot rule according to the wishes of the people, you cannot take care of the welfare of the people. If people are suffering from famine, immediately ruler should know, bureaucracy should know how to solve this famine condition. At that time famines were there, and today a cyclone will come, a heat stroke will come, flood will come. Then when we have these many disasters, some gas stations will fire. Already some kind of industrial hazards also will take place. When we go to Uttarakhand region, whenever floods are there, whenever rainfall is there, landslides used to take place. So these are the sudden emergency circumstances. Sometimes earthquakes will come, sometimes tsunami also will come. how people must be knowing alert so that immediately people welfare can be taken care. Importance of wisdom and knowledge. We must be having knowledge to update ourselves to solve these problems in future. Knowledge is power. Importance of continuous learning and education for personal and societal development. So always society will be improving. A person should know what is happening in the neighboring country, what should be happening in the across the world, how the developments are going on at international level, what are the latest trends. According to the latest trends, we also should upgrade. We should not go back, we should always go forward. That's why a civil servant or a bureaucracy or ruler must be aware of what is going on, must be updated. That's why today a civil servant bureaucracy are expected to read newspaper regularly. Pragmatism and realism. While Chanakya acknowledged the importance of ideas, also emphasized the needs for practical solution to challenge this. Suppose a neighbor is there, we follow very good ethical principles to maintain peaceful relations with the neighbor. And what is the guarantee that a neighbor also follow the same kind of ethical standards? That's why he says that if we have to be very much ideal, we have to be very always follow the moral code of conduct. But if neighbor is enemy, then you have to crush the enemy immediately. Otherwise, enemy will always create some kind of trouble for you. So that's why the moment you are caused some kind of fear or terror or disturbance by the enemy or neighbor, enemy, then immediately you have to crush the enemy. Pragmatism along with realism. So pragmatism and realism along with idealism. Resource management. A strong treasury is very much important. That's why resource management is very, very crucial component. And when it comes to resource management, people must be very honest also. Accountability and transparency. In the functioning of the government, transparency must be there, openness must be there, so that decisions can be taken very openly. Secrecy means corruption will take place, openness. Once transparency is there, people also will have accountability also. For any decision taken by the ruler bureaucracy, they must take accountability, responsibility for their actions. Otherwise, the people who take, the bureaucracy take decisions randomly without any accountability, then they will go against the welfare of the state, against the welfare of the people. That's why even today also we are expecting the same kind of characteristics from the present day bureaucracy also. Chanakya 2300 years ago also said those things which you can see much advanced of those times. And he says justice and fairness. Justice is one of the cornerstone and corner pillar of any kind of society. If there is no justice in the country, country will break into multiple pieces. If judiciary do not give the judgments on time, if judgments are getting delayed, society will enter into chaos, law and order situations will emerge. People feel free to commit the crimes because a person who commit the crime having the confidence that he is not going to be punished in the near future, because justice system is not there and the judicial system is corrupt and you can purchase the justice. Poor people will be at the receiving end, rich people will go away with no kind of punishment even if they commit crimes. And what will happen? And poor people will not trust the government, will not trust the judiciary, and they will take weapons to punish if there is any crime against them, and they will try to take revenge against those perpetrators. That's why then if everybody think like that, society will not stay, society will crumble. Justice must be there, fairness must be there. Even today also we are expecting the same thing. If election commission is there, election commission must be very fair and transparent. Otherwise, the opposition parties, the people who are not the winners, they will not accept the decision and they will fight on the streets. It will result in the chaos. Welfare orientation. People must be taken care. If people require loans for the agriculture, they must be given. If they need roads, construct the roads. If they need irrigation facilities, construct the irrigation facilities. Welfare of the people. And in those times, slaves also will be there. and he says slaves must be used and taken care, accordingly their service also can be utilized. So that is how welfare of the people. So whatever Chanakya's philosophy, whatever he has told, even today also it is reflecting. But sometimes he says that some of the elements which he says exactly we cannot replicate. For example, he used to say that always straight trees are cut first. That means a person should not be very highly honest. That kind of message goes in the wrong direction if we apply 2300 BC standard in the present circumstance. So he is giving practical explanation that if a person is very much honest, people will try to eliminate them in the beginning place itself. Because 2300 years ago, there were continuous conspiracies against the throne, conspiracies against the bureaucracy, conspiracies against every family member. That's why he was telling in that context. But today, there are no rulers, there are no royal members, there is no such kind of conspiracies for the throne. That's why some of the elements cannot be replicated in 21st century also, but majority of them are exactly even today also they are applicable. Next, another important personality when it comes to modern India, that is from ancient India. Now he is from modern India. So in the 20th century standard, so now we have seen 2300 years ago, that means 2000 years ago, philosophy of the state. Now 20th century leader, according to 20th century society politics, he is also gave certain kinds of ideas. Those ideas are helpful to understand present day society for us. So Gandhiji's principles. So his main key principles are truth and non-violence. What is the context when it comes to Gandhiji? The context is Gandhiji was fighting against the British. Now this was the circumstances. So here a small country came and captured entire India. Now when small country captured entire India, now here resources, farmers, rajas and everybody, the wealth, whatever the wealth they were having, that wealth has gone to here, drain. As a result, in this land, there was poverty, unemployment, famines, diseases, and large-scale deaths. So in simple terms, India became a slave of this tiny country, that is Britain. Now when Britain could control this, a ruler cannot come and completely control without having any weakness here. Their strength, definitely their strength will play an important role in controlling another country. But also weakness of these people also is another factor. So strength of these people, weakness of these people, combination only result in the slavery. British controlled, they started controlling since 1757, 1764 and so on continuously. Now when it comes to 1920s, Gandhiji's become. So already by this time, so much damage has happened to the country. Now he wants freedom. he is going to fight. Already before him also some people started fighting for the freedom. Swaraj. Now this is the condition in which he is going to take the leadership, national leadership. So when he come to the national stage, now this was not, the rulers were not Indians. Here Chandragupta Maurya was Indian. When it comes to Gandhiji, this empire, the British. And here weakness were there, that's what? Strength of the British, weakness like caste, Hindu-Muslim conflicts, untouchability, poverty, famines. Then when it comes to other issues like robbery, stealing, violence, that was the condition. Before Gandhiji, in 1890s, in 1900s, Swami Vivekananda. 1880s, Swami Vivekananda was also there. He was awakening the people in the spiritual terms. Even though he will not be directly involving in the politics, but at the spiritual level, he is going to motivate and inspire the people. But when it comes to Gandhiji, he is going to mix spirituality plus politics go together, and overall he wanted freedom from the British also, at the same time freedom from certain elements within the society also. So freedom means what? For untouchability, freedom means freedom from that kind of untouchability. Whether British is there, whether Indian is there, if untouchability is practiced, what is the freedom for untouchable? Poverty is there. If poor person is there, whether British are there, whether Indians are ruling, if poverty is there, what is the freedom for the poor person? That's where he is not going to differentiate between British or Indians. He will see evil as a evil and good versus evil. He is going to see this one, good versus evil. And he says, I am not against the British people, I am against the policies taken by the British rule. That means if British take the policies which are in favor of the country, then I am not against you. So I am criticizing the evil that you are not considering Indians as equal. You are showing discrimination. You are not considering the welfare of the people. You are not giving respect to the Indians' opinion. You are not giving freedom to express also. You are not giving even exemptions, even farmers are not able to pay the tax. If farmers are already in trouble, a government is expected to give some kind of concession, some relief, but you are very ruthless, very cruel in nature and very arbitrary in nature and despotic in nature. That means you are not showing any concern to the people of India. Then you are showing these are all the evil qualities. That's why he is going to fight at that level. So this evil, even when it comes to Rajas also, that Raja may be Indian, but if Raja also exploiting the peasant, Gandhiji is against that Raja also. So he is not against the British or Raja, Indian Raja, he is against the evil behavior of the people. That could be Indian or others. So that is, he is in entire humanity, he is seeing that evil versus good force. So he wanted to eliminate that evil so that even tomorrow if British leave India, India is going to become free, but after India got freedom, then how Indians are going to administer? They should not continue these kind of evil practices like British. That's why at fundamental level he is going to attack these evils from the society. And he is going to say truth and non-violence are the two parameters. He says A society must be built on truth. A society should not be built on lies. If there is truth, then there is victory. So Gandhi considered truth as the highest moral principle guiding all actions. You take the decision purely based on the truth. Do not manipulate the reports. If there is a difficulty at the ground level, government should take the true report. Even though government feel, if they know that mismanagement, government may feel that they may get bad name because of the mismanagement. But if you don't know the truth, then how do you solve it? Upholding honesty, transparency and integrity in decision making and public conduct. So a civil servant must be based on honest integrity principles, true to their word. Whatever they said, you just implement what you are doing. In the present day context, elections, during election time period, many promises are given. Are they upholding that? People are voting based on the promises. After entering into the office, are they promising it? So that's why even British also, even during the bureaucracy, they must conduct according to the true principles of duty. Non-violence, core belief, not just absence of physical violence, but also rejection of any harm in thought, words. So this peaceful conflict resolution is very, very important for the Indian. India is a multi-diverse country. Peaceful resolution is very important. Self-rule, Swaraj. Swaraj, people wanted Swaraj not only from the British, but within the village level also. So that's where Swaraj means all sections of the people must have say in the government. A rural level, village level, at a town level, at the top level, people must feel that they are also part of this governance. Otherwise, what is the importance even if British gave? Swaraj or freedom to India. Means and ends. He says, ends cannot justify. For example, if you want to eliminate untouchability, you cannot kill the people who are following untouchability. Then means does not justify, the ends does not justify the means. Suppose terrorism is there in Jammu and Kashmir. If you want to control terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, you cannot imprison all the Jammu and Kashmiri people so that you will maintain law and order peacefully. Ends cannot justify the means, the ends cannot justify the outcome. So simply, means also important. The way you are resolving the conflict is also matters, and also the end also important. When it comes to in the present day circumstance, people want to become IAS, and by hard work means also you can enter into IAS. Through corruption also, if there is any possibility if somebody enters, then that is not going to help them. The how, by manipulating elections also people can become chief minister, but by following the fair and transparent elections also people can become chief ministers. But what is the best method? Becoming chief minister is important, no doubt, but the way you are becoming chief minister also important, the way you are becoming prime minister also important in the politics. When it comes to business, how you are earning the wealth also important. It's not that how much profits, how many crores, thousands of crores of rupees a business is earning, but how you are earning also important. That's why a civil service also, removing any kind of evil is also important, but Naxalism is there. We have to eliminate Naxalism, but it doesn't mean by clearing entire forest we are going to eliminate the terrorism, eliminate Naxalism. Means also important, ends only cannot give the good outcome. British used to say that if we want to eliminate, they used to consider themselves as civilizing mission, and they used to feel that the white man burdens theory, they want to civilize Indians, but at what cost? By destroying indigenous to impose a new culture. That is not advancement, or that is not the civilization. For end point is you want to civilize the people, but it doesn't mean you will destroy the old tradition and you will impose completely new one. Means also important, not only ends. Civil service also same thing. Welfare for all, same thing, like when it comes to Chanakya, people must keep in mind welfare of everybody, not a particular family, particular relatives, particular caste, particular religion. No, a person must think about everybody, welfare of all. Trusteeship, the rich people must think about common people also, because if a rich person is able to earn means the poor people are not violating or revolting against their wealth. People are giving the chance to grow in the country. That means a person is able to grow very peacefully. That means people must give respect to the society also. The wealth belongs to the entire country. The rich people is just a trusteeship. That means they are the trustees of this wealth. They must take care of the poor people also who are not able to get wealth. Relevance for civil service, same thing, equitable distribution of wealth when it comes to bureaucracy and decision making. And one of the famous 7 sins he is going to give. These are the 7 sins what according to Gandhiji. These are not the good values. If people earn wealth without work, that is not a good practice. Pleasure without conscience, mindless pleasure is not good for the person. Knowledge without character, then people make bombs, people make chemical weapons and they will kill. And the knowledge people possess, but what is without character? People know how to operate cyber security level, but if they steal the money from the banks through cyber security crimes, then what is the point? Knowledge without character. Commerce without morality. People earn a lot of money by trading practices, gambling and all. That is not good for the person and society. Science without humanity. During this time period, people were World War I, World War II was going on, and science was growing at the time, but people were using the science to kill the people. Hitler was there, Hitler using gas chambers for killing the people. Nuclear weapons. During his time period only, nuclear weapons were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He died in 1948. Hiroshima and Nagasaki happened in 1945. He was there. Politics without principles. Politics is to benefit the people, but without principles, if they do politics, then they cannot do good for the country. These are 7 sins of Gandhiji. So these are very much relevant for the society also. That means simply bureaucrats should not indulge in corruption, then only they can think about welfare of the people. So Gandhian philosophy is one of the ethical framework even today also that is applied. One more important personality we will see when it comes to philosophical moral thinkers and philosophy from the Indian context. Just I have given brief time period also before Gandhiji, when Gandhiji was around 20 years of age. So Swami Vivekananda was also there, and at the spiritual plane he is trying to awaken the people. That's why his famous quotation also, arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. He was also during British time period only, 1890s, British imperialism was at its peak. British themselves are feeling they are very much superior. They are knowledge-wise superior, science-wise superior. But Swami Vivekananda, inspired from the Upanishadic thought, I have given introduction also, Upanishadic thought, Vedantic thought, Vedas and Upanishadic thought. He is going to study a lot and he is going to bring new ideas and new regeneration in the Indian mindset. Indians are going to become more confident after Swami Vivekananda. And he is going to say that universalism and tolerance. He believed in universal brotherhood and respect for all religions. In 1893, he represented Indian religions in Chicago, in USA. In USA, there was one kind of parliament of religions was going on. There, all people belong to different religions were coming and giving speeches. From India, he also appeared in that, and he went there and he told that people in the name of religious, like at that time, British were very much attached to Christianity spread by undermining the Indian traditions. That's why he was giving in that context. These religions are different ways of thinking towards the God and spiritualism, but all spiritual methods are same in front of the God. We all belong to the same brothers. That's why universalism and tolerance, believed in universal brotherhood and respect for all religions. Show respect to all religions, then only people can coexist peacefully, otherwise people will be killing each other. Promoted interfaith awareness and tolerance, service to humanity. So British were draining the wealth by killing the people. They created a circumstances, economic conditions in such a way, here Indians are poor, millions of people are dying out of famine, but government is doing nothing. Government does conduct huge darbars, but people are died in the famines. Then he is saying that service to humanity. People, all human beings are same. Even single death also is painful. We must take into consideration about the people. Emphasize the selfless service to others. People, in the name of developing and growing, like British, to grow its country, it is exploiting the Indians. You have to consider Indians are also people like British people. You should show the respect to Indians as well. Character development. Character development, like politics, when somebody enters into politics, politics is not only for gaining power. That is a responsibility to take care of the people. If a person enters into bureaucracy, it is a responsible position, not to develop personally, but to develop the people, character development. And truth, honesty, these are very much crucial in order to make citizens very truthful. Development of physical, mental and moral, spiritual strength. Women empowerment. Women were not considered equal and they were in the degrading position and they were not able to enjoy basic rights also. Sati practice was going on, child marriages were going on. He is telling, if 50% of their, if a bird is having two wings, one wing is woman, one wing is men. And if you cut one wing completely, a single wing cannot take bird anywhere. So with a single wing, birds cannot fly. Women empowerment is also important. He is going to motivate. Rationality, emphasize the reason and scientific thinking. Similar to Buddhism and Jainism, what was the context of these philosophies? When Brahmanical traditions were going on, so many rituals, mindless rituals, sacrifices, advantage, nobody knows what is the benefit and what is the reason behind that. With respect to God, God will not tell all these things. Violence should not be there. Superstition should not be there. He is saying rationality must be there. Then only people can think rationally, can develop ideas. Application to civil service, all these ideas, ethical conduct, integrity, inclusive and tolerant governance, and service to poor, self-improvement always, then rational decision making, without having any kind of, some people believe in astrology. Students also believe in astrology that their time will come after some time, so and so. But sometime it may not be that without hard working, that is not possible. Hard work must be there, rationality must be there, rational decision making should be there in bureaucracy. So these are the philosophical. Everybody is broadly, everyone is talking about ethical and moral development. Character building is very crucial for a personality development also, at the same time strong country as well. So these are the important Indian philosophers we have discussed in this session. Thank you.